Thank you so much, Sofia, for agreeing to do this interview on such a short notice. I'm very happy to be talking to you here in this informal place we're sitting, where all the other artists are busy curating things. Yeah. So we're chilling here. It's lovely to be meeting you in this private zone and talking. Would love to know you more. What are your thoughts on the process-based art in connection to artistic freedom?
Well, I'm absolutely in love with the process. Since 2015, since I've been working in a special museum dedicated to processes, I just wonder, like, we've been so taught to focus on objects, right, as the principal thing to understand about art. And that's not the deal at all. I mean, it's beautiful, of course, but what happens in the mind and body of the artist or the people who are entangled with these processes, there is art. I mean, in the process, all the thinking, the clouds, the inspirational things, the walk-ins that you have to do to get inspired, the talks that you have with your friends or with your couple partner, life is what really fed us creatively, and how to show that and how to understand it as a whole and to lose information during the process is also part of our nature, right? It's part of our memories and how we build it.
Exactly.
So, I've got in love with this. I got in love with working collectively with artists and with other curators, and not only in the scope of art, but also with other people who knows better about science or anthropology or whatever. And that's the meaning of life, getting to know, to have hungry, right? And actually that is what lead us to understand our way and our steps in this life. And also to fail, to wonder, to fail, to understand, to make more questions. And that is, in essence, part of our freedom.
To be a part of the process instead of focusing on the result.
Exactly.
To accept that there will be several failures on the way. And there may be never a mole or a target like, okay, I have achieved here, because life is a process, and just to flow in the process is beautiful.
Beautiful. And actually you get to know each other and to know other ways of thinking and of feeling. And that also make you, I don't believe there's one ethic, but that also leads you to understand plurality, polyphony, and that also helps you to understand how to build freedom together, right? And of course, in the process, you will fail, and you will say, like, stupid things in the way, of course, because you are learning.
Because that is also the bravery of saying stupid things.
Absolutely.
Like, people can't say stupid things because if they're so scared of saying what they...
Yes, we are all scared,
exactly,
always, but be scared is also part of the process, and to accept and embrace it is part of it.
And that's like bravery. That's not like a failure, I would say.
And asking, right?
And now when you're talking about polyphony, what do you think this polyphonic, site-specific work, which this entire exhibition is about, how do you people find a universal language between all the curators and so many artists working behind it? Go through the process a little.
I actually don't believe in a universal language. So, because that will lead us to a one way of thinking, to one way of understanding world and ourselves, and that is impossible. So I don't believe in a universality, because that's also like a way of making it homogeneous, and I'm actually against that. So yes, I'm more up to opening spaces or building spaces through cherish, through caring, through listening, through discussion and dissent.
I totally understand what you mean exactly, and what this exhibition is also about. What I meant was that you still find a way of working together with people speak different languages, you people have different baggage with you, your work is like not at all similar to each other, but still you people have come together, living in this beautiful house together, cooking for each other.
Absolutely.
And then presenting all this, working, helping each other. So have still like found each other.
Yes, because that is politics of caring. And I believe we have to build that together to hear each other. Yeah.
So this entire exhibition is about caring for each other.
And learning from each other, and learning from each other to understand all our traumas as well. I mean, our traumas, but also the ways that we are trying to configure ourselves constantly. So yes, that is polyphony. Because we are not the same, we have different interests. But actually, what we work with has some threads that can be, like entangled, or we can make a beautiful knot with it, right? And then untangle it, and then weave another thing. I was actually talking with Frederick this morning about building networks, and I'm trying to see myself sometimes as a spider, as a web builder. And I'm trying to understand how to do that, because, it's very subtle. It's also very cherished and sensitive. But it's also a structure there, because I have to build also under my ways of understanding structures.
Because you don't build a network without, it is also a conscious effort. You have to remind yourself, you have to act in a specific way, you have to talk in a specific way, you have to make people comfortable around you. To be building it's a specific art.
Yes. It's a specific. And actually it's also related with translating poetically, right? Kind of.
You were talking a little about trauma and oppression and how everybody has a different baggage. What keeps all these artists so motivated? Like, everybody has a different baggage, some more stronger than the other, but everybody's struggling, and especially in today's time when everything is getting so disturbing and people are being affected on a different level. Everything has come closer. The oppression, and because of the social media, everything is just in front of us. How do you keep yourself motivated? What is the future?
Well, that's a very tough question. I think all these artists, or I can talk about the artists I work with. I mean, none of us want to be displaced. No. None of us want to run out from home, or to be forced to be out, right? Yeah. We like where we grew up sometimes, or if not, you make a whole decision to do it, but you build dreams forward to do that and to take those decisions. But that is your terrain, that is your whole body working for it, working for your dreams. And I mean, these artists, as well as I imagine as you or me, we have these things that we love from home, right? And that we miss from home, or that we want to preserve. And recognizing that we are part of it. I mean, we don't own those memories. We don't own the land. We don't own the smells that we grew up with, or the flavors or the trees or the bees, animals, and all that surrounds us. But we are part of it. When we or they feel endangered, of course you want to fight for it. Of course you want to raise your voice. Of course the first thing to do is to join with your peers, to talk about it, or even decide doing by yourself and put your beloved ones in a safe place, right? So, I mean, that's natural. And when you think about it, your beloved ones is not only like your brother or your sister or your mother or your siblings or your daughter, no? It's everything. Yeah, so when you or they feel endangered, the danger is not just you. I mean, we are accustomed to understand as individuals, right, in this Occidental life. But we have to understand that there are some other ways of understanding life being. And life being is not individuality as the only thing. Everything is alive and everything forms part of your understanding of life. And of course there's where territory comes out in another way of understanding territory, not that one with boundaries and with, you know, with borders, right? You're understanding it as a living being that it's also you, and you are also thee. So that's when all this way of living and understanding life becomes so important to, you know, to be focused on and to respect. So about your question, what artists keep doing and what are they standing for? They're standing for life. I mean, they're not standing just for an idea or for an ideology, because that's also very risky. They are standing for life.
Yeah. Beautifully said. Yeah. How important do you think the community of these artists is important for them? How important is teamwork? How important is it to keep them like together, for artists to be together, to form these communities? What? How do you? Is it accessible? Is it easy? Is it difficult?
No, it's never easy to work in a community, right? And actually, sometimes the community are not your allies, right? Your allies. I mean, I work with some artists that actually they have to flew away from their communities because what they were doing. So we cannot romanticize community neither. It's very hard because of plurality, right? I mean, we have to deal with it because not everything is harmonic, and you have to build dialogue and you have to build discussions as well, and as I was telling in the beginning, dissent, to build something together. But of course it's very important. I mean,
what type of strength does it require to be that strong?
I believe
because you're talking like when you're talking, it's all very romantic and it's all very beautiful. But it's not. But what you're saying is it requires a lot of strength.
It is, and actually that is very hard, because when you work with this, it's so tiring, and I mean, you know that. Frederick knows that. All of us know it. But artists and communities that are fighting and standing for it, I mean, we are in a museum and it's hard. But what if you have to be inland fighting against organized crime and putting your body in risk? Or what about, like standing up against the state or against all this economic interest? I mean, it's far beyond. And we need to rest. Resting is a political statement per se. Yeah.
When you talk about territories, how do you see the roots of resistance? How do you like incorporate the work of territories with the roots of resistance exhibition?
I mean, there are tons of ways to resist. And sometimes I like to say that resistance is not always, like making this force against. Resistance is also flexibility. And, like move like a tree or a leaf. That it's also a soft way of resisting. Memory is also a way of resisting, and that is not tough or unique or, in a square. So when we talk about roots of resistance, I'm thinking on what are the ways that we can put on the table to speak out. What are all these visions, not only from us, but also from the artists that are accompanying us. And trying to understand some new methodologies through art. Building new roots or making the questions for building them. Yeah.
Beautiful, building more roots. Thank you so much.
Or roots. Not just roots, but roots.
Yeah, we can build roots on our roots also. Beautiful talking to you.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And best of luck.
Well, thank you, Rita.
Thank you.
Oh.